Hey everybody, happy Valentine's Day. Sorry that I'm not wearing red. I just currently don't have any clean red shirts to wear. Um anyway, tonight's video is going to be about the most scariest and most dangerous airports around the world. And this is an article here that I got off the internet about these specific airports, and it's a very long list, so I may not go through all these airports, but I will go through at least some of them with you, because like I said, this is a very long list, and at the end of this video I will be posting a link to a YouTube video about that relates directly to this article in the description below this video. So if you would like to know more besides what I'm about to tell you now, all you have to do is visit that link, and it will explain all the facts to you in detail, because this is a lot for me to explain, but I will go over some of it with you. And I'm going to read directly from this article here. A bumpy landing can give even the most seasoned traveler the jitters, even if you know the odds are you'll arrive safely. After all, flying is one of the safest modes of transportation out there, much safer than driving. But at some airports, arrivals and departures are truly a white-knuckle experience. Flying into these airports isn't totally unsafe. If the risk was too great, no airline or pilot would be attempting to land, but it can still put passengers and sometimes even the crew on edge. A few have even been the site of deadly crashes that have killed scores of passengers. Now, this is not to scare anybody, and it doesn't mean that the exact same thing will happen to you. These are just statistics, keep in mind. At these 15 airports, only some of which I will cover in this video, steep cliffs, fierce crosswinds, and other factors combine to test the nerve of even the most frequent flyers. Plus, you'll also find out at the end of this video which airlines have the worst safety ratings in the world. And again, none of this is to scare anybody. First one listed, number 15, is Congonhas Airport. This is located in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And the number of annual passengers is 18.1 million. Pilots flying into Sao Paulo's infamous Congonhas Airport know they should prepare. Originally built on the outskirts of the Brazilian capital, the airport is now surrounded by high rises. The runway is short and can be slippery, though there have been improvements since a deadly accident in 2007 when a jet skidded off the runway and burst into flames. Number 14 is Tocantins International Airport, located in Tegucigalpa, Honduras, with an annual passenger count of 617,500. Mountainous terrain, a short runway, and a tricky approach make landing at Tocantins International Airport in Tegucigalpa, Honduras, a nail-biter. Over the years, there have been several devastating accidents here. In 1989, 131 people lost their lives when a Boeing 727 crashed into a mountain after pilots made mistakes while they were trying to land. Another incident in 2011 took the lives of 14 others. Plans are underway to build a new, safer airport so that passengers can land in an airport that doesn't put their lives at risk. And another one on this list is Tenzing Hillary Airport. This is located in Sharikarka, Nepal. However you pronounce that. And there is no annual passenger count listed here. For Mount Everest climbers, the adventure begins well before they reach base camp. First, they must endure the hair-raising flight into Nepal's Tenzing Hillary Airport, also known as Lukla Airport. The small airport is atop a high cliff with a downward sloping runway that's a mere 65 feet wide and 1,500 feet long. At one end of the pavement is a 2,000-foot drop, and at the other is a wall of rock. Unpredictable weather conditions make flying into this airport even more challenging. There have been several serious accidents at Lukla, including a 2008 crash that killed 18 people and a May 2017 accident where 2 people died. Pilots must have special training to land here. Next is Madeira Airport, which is now Cristiano Ronaldo Airport. It's located in Santa Cruz, Portugal, and with an annual passenger count of 2.5 million. Passengers flying into this airport on the Portuguese island of Madeira won't soon forget the experience. Planes landing on the single runway must contend with serious crosswinds, as well as a mountain on one side and a steep drop off into the ocean on the other. In 1977, 131 people died after a jet crash when trying to land in bad weather. Since then, they've extended the runway several times. Much of it is now on stilts over the water, and the airport is far safer. Still, pilots need special training to fly here, and landing can be a frightening experience for visitors. Now, the next airport, and this it requires planes to fly dangerously close to onlookers. This is Princess Juliana International Airport, located at Simpson Bay on the island of St. Martin, with an annual passenger count of 1.8 million. The approach to Princess Juliana International Airport on the Caribbean island of St. Martin is one of the most famous in the world, at least among aviation buffs. Here, large jets swoop in from over the water and fly low over a crowded beach before hitting the runway. Though the landing looks scary, there haven't been any major crashes at the airport, knock on wood. But things can get dicey for plane spotters on the ground. In July 2017, a woman watching flights take off died after the blast from a jet pushed her into a retaining wall. Next is Gustave III Airport. This airport is located on the island of St. Barthélemy in Guadeloupe in the Caribbean. And again, there's no annual passenger count here. After gripping the armrest on their flight to St. Martin, vacationers on their way to the nearby island of St. Bart's have another nerve-wracking landing to deal with. Only tiny planes carrying a max of 20 people can land at Gustave III Airport, and there's a steep approach to the short runway. On takeoffs, planes must fly over a beach filled with lounging tourists. In 2016, a man trying to snap a picture of a landing was clipped by a plane, and in 2001, 20 people lost their lives when their plane crashed while trying to land on the island. Next is Courchevel Airport. This is located in Saint-Bon-Tarentaise in France. And again, no annual passenger count. For the most part, we've restricted this list to airports with scheduled flights, but we couldn't leave out France's Courchevel Airport. You may recognize this tiny alpine airport from the James Bond movie Tomorrow Never Dies. Pilots brave enough to attempt the landing here must contend with a runway that's just roughly 1,700 feet long and has a scary drop-off at one end. There are no lights, and the surrounding mountains mean that pilots must land successfully on their first try. Conditions are so tricky that you can't even charter a plane to take you there, though some privately owned planes do land there. And this next one is the shortest commercial landing strip in the world, which makes for risky landings. This is Saba Airport, or Wanko E. Raskin Airport on the Caribbean island of Saba. And it's located in Hell's Gate, Caribbean, Netherlands, and more than 20,000 passengers fly here annually. The ultra-short runway at this airport on the Caribbean island of Saba makes landings a challenge. Pilots must touch down on a strip of pavement that's only 1,312 feet long, with cliffs on both ends, hills on one side and the ocean on the other. According to the island's tourism board, it's the shortest commercial runway in the world. And the last one that I will go over with you is the Gibraltar Airport. This is located in Gibraltar with an annual passenger count of 652,000. The British territory of Gibraltar isn't very big, with limited square footage. Some areas have to pull double duty, so you shouldn't be surprised when your plane rolls across the city's main drag upon landing. Cars on Winston Churchill Boulevard periodically have to stop in order to let jets through. It might be safe, but it's definitely a little nerve-wracking for flyers and drivers alike. So that covers several of the airports on this list, and like I said, since there were 15 of them on this list, it was a little much for me to be able to explain them all. So and I wanted to make this video as short as possible. So for those of you who wanted to know more airports from this list I haven't covered, please be sure to take a look at the link that I've posted in the description below this video. That's it for now, folks, and I'll be making another video on Friday night, so peace, everybody. And press the subscribe button. It's easy.